Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and in today's video, I'm going to show you guys what I actually use for my IP phone or IP phones. Now, as you can imagine, I work with people all across the United States on pretty much a daily basis, not only helping them to figure out what the best voice over IP service provider or phone system is for their needs, but also helping them figure out what phones makes the most sense for their setup and for their different staff members and users. So while, I usually ask the typical questions and say, hey, how many lines do you need? What features or functions do you need the phone to be able to do? What's your budget? I typically get asked the frequent question, hey, Prince, well, tell me, what do you use? What's your favorite IP phone or setup? So today in this video, I'm going to show you guys what's actually on my desk, what I use, and how I use it. So let's hop right into this. So, as you guys can imagine, I've been doing this for a while in the phone system game. Even before the phone system game, obviously, I've been in business for quite some time, about 13 years at the time of this video. So, as you can imagine, I've been through quite a bit of different models of IP phones or desk phones or cordless phones or whatever phones associated with the phone system that I've got at the time over the years. So this is my current setup. Obviously, in the future, we may do another video similar to this, where I talk about, hey, this is my new setup now since the upgrade. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go through component by component what I've actually got for my setup here and why I chose it. Before I get into that, as you guys know, you've watched plenty of my other videos where you've seen our, I guess you could call it, official showroom back there that has a whole lot of other phones. I think I've got approximately 12 actual IP phones mixed with some cordless phones back on that display, but I've also got a ton of other phones that I've reviewed and that are still yet to be reviewed, and even in transit as we speak that are from VOIP Supply and some of the other service providers that they send me for review. So just know, before we get into this, that you guys are seeing what I have chosen to use over a myriad of dozens and dozens of other IP phones that are sent to me for free, or at severe discount for review. So just understand that, the reason why I chose these has a point behind it, and obviously you can take it to the bank that it's pretty good stuff. So let's hop into the components and I'll show you what I've got. So first and foremost is my desk phone, the very popular Yealink T54W. Well, I guess the short version to the reason why I picked this phone is a few reasons. Number one, it's such a beautiful phone. For those of you who frequent my channel and you've seen the other reviews that I've done on IP phones, you know that I did an in-depth hands-on review on this phone. This phone is just beautiful to look at. So first of all, I decided to go with it because it looks good on my desk, looks good in the background in videos and things like that. It has a very large color screen. It has one of the largest color screens out of all of the IP phones that I have in this entire office. I think the only phone in this office that I have that has a larger color screen, or the screen might be just larger by a hair, is the Grandstream GXP 2170. While yes, the Grandstream phone that I reviewed in a different video has a larger screen than this is a significantly better phone. Not only is it more feature, it's a more full-featured phone with some advanced features. It is a more premium phone. It feels nicer in the hands and things like that. Also, one of the reasons why I like this phone is because it is one of the only phones on the market currently at the time of this video, the only desk phones that has true Wi-Fi built in and true Bluetooth built in, meaning if you have a Bluetooth headset, or if you have a wireless network like most people do in their home office, or business, you literally don't need any dongles or adapters like many of the other phones do to be able to connect this phone to, a hands-free headset or to a wireless network in your home office or business. This is a gigabit phone, so it does support gigabit Ethernet. And most importantly, it is a PoE phone. So I actually have a cable, which you can see right here, that is connected PoE, that goes all the way back to my switch over here. And so it gives the phone its power and its internet. While, yes, I did say that this phone does support Wi-Fi to connect to an SSID natively through the menus, I'm kind of old-fashioned and I prefer, less troubleshooting where possible. So I figured, I'm only about 3 to 4 feet away from my PoE switch. So why use the wireless when I can just go ahead and plug it in and get a hard cable, which, while the Wi-Fi on it I'm sure worked great and I've never heard any complaints from anybody, you can never beat a hard cable. It's just more reliable and easier to troubleshoot if anything happens. As you can see here, there is a USB port there on the back of this phone. That is actually connecting to an adapter that connects to a wireless headset of my choice. We're going to get into that as well, show you guys my full setup. So in a minute, we're going to get into that so you can also see what I've got connected to this phone and why I chose this over many other things that I could have connected to it. But I just wanted to show you guys that it does have a gigabit Ethernet port on the back of it. I really don't want to disturb the setup, but you know what? Why not? So as you can see, there is a gigabit Ethernet port there. There is also a pass-through port. So it's got a pass-through. I don't personally need it, but for anybody interested in a phone like this, this is pretty much the standard these days. I would say any IP phone that's been made late 2018 and definitely 2019, 2020 at the time of this video, they typically are gigabit and have a Ethernet pass-through port. That is what I wanted to show you guys there. So let me show you what else I've got on the desk and what we use. So this bad boy here is the Leitner LHS270, I believe it is. I hope I didn't get that model number wrong. But I'll put a link directly to this headset in the description below for anybody that wants to see it. In short, this is a brand that is exclusive to headsets.com. This is their flagship headset. While headsets.com carries many other headsets of different shapes, sizes, and orientations, this is like their baby. This is their flagship. This headset, I want to say, runs for approximately $270, but with coupon codes, which I'll list in the description on this video, as well as some other promotions and discounts that they typically have going on, you can get it for a bit cheaper. Let me tell you guys, it's worth every penny. First of all, the dock is just a wonderful thing. The best part about it is truly wireless. It's extremely light. Obviously from this video, you're not going to be able to tell how light this is, but it's so light. I've literally been on a call and then ended a call and just completely forgot that I was actually wearing this thing on my head. And I'm sitting here walking around the office and asking my wife, have you seen my Leitner headset? Have you seen it? And it's literally on my head. This thing is incredibly light. Again, like I said, there's no way you can really, sense the sheer weight of this thing on your head, through this video. But I'm pretty sure it's built that way so that it, doesn't cause like stress on the neck. And more or less just makes you feel like you're kind of, it's more or less weightless, conversation or phone talking experience. The base on this thing is actually really impressive. As you can see, it has a little charging meter here that, it's got like 4 little LEDs or whatever that, change. When you sit it down on the dock, it actually kind of changes and shows you at what point it is charging. I'm not actually sure what these do, and I've never actually messed with them. Obviously, this is your power, but the dock is actually really nice. The way that it just kind of sits suspended on my desk, it looks really aesthetically pleasing, like sitting on the desk. It looks real high tech. So here it actually is with me wearing this thing. For those of you who are curious to see what it actually looks like, that's kind of what it. If I can get a shot of that, kind of looks like from the sides. It's got a little LED on it that essentially is lit whenever you're on a call or something like that. I think that'll do it. I can actually hear a dial tone in my ear now, so I can, mute calls, hang up calls, answer the phone. If it's ringing, it'll kind of do a light beep in my ear if another call is coming in, or if there is a, if there's a new call coming in. Well, let me hang that back up. I can change the volume on it and all that stuff, but I just wanted you guys to kind of see it from the profile view and what it looks like. It's very, like I said, it's very lightweight, looks good on the head. It doesn't look crazy looking or anything like that, but I really like it and dig it. So let's move on to the third piece of equipment that I have that I use, which is one of my personal favorites that you guys have seen me talk about frequently on this channel. So this here is the legendary Yealink W60P. Now, you know, politically speaking, or to be politically correct, this phone is actually classified, I believe, as the W56H, but the 60P is the kit that actually includes the phone and the wireless base that comes with it. Which actually, while we're on that subject, let me show you guys that, and then we'll get back to focusing more on the phone itself and why I use it and like it. So I had to pull it out from behind a few things, but this is the actual base for this phone. As you can see, it says W60B, and then the phone itself, the actual handset that you saw in the clip for this, is the W56H, but combined, it is called the Yealink W60P as in Paul kit. So, I mean, there really isn't much to this thing. It's basically the wireless base that allows the handset to have wireless. I mean, it connects to Ethernet. It is PoE capable. I have it plugged into power, but as far as I know, this thing is PoE. So you can actually plug it into a PoE port and it power it and you not use the power plug with it. But I wanted to spare my PoE ports, so I went ahead and just used the power supply so that I could use the PoE ports for, you know, the many lovely phones that you guys usually see that I have on display in the background behind me. But that's the actual receiver. So let's move back to the phone and I'll tell you why I like it. So in short, this phone is legendary. At least we think so. I've done multiple kind of hands-on and off reviews on this phone in bunches with other phones, like, you know, the top whatever phones for 2020 cordless phones or whatever, but it's priced well. It's priced at approximately, I think the actual kit cost, I want to say around about $120 to $135, depending on where you get it from. I don't believe it's over $150. The biggest thing is the range on this thing is really awesome. I want to say it's a 4 to 6 line capable phone, so 4 to 6 simultaneous calls at a time. I mean, I've had up to 3 simultaneous calls on it, but never more than that, so I couldn't tell you. The biggest thing is it feels good in the hands. It's got a really decent speakerphone on it, which is actually HD voice. It's got a big color screen compared to the older version before this, which I actually have in this office and retired to get this phone. But I would say the biggest reason why I chose it is because it's the phone that most any and everybody that I talk to in regards to any voice over IP carrier is interested in. I've sold this phone to government entities. I've sold it to big franchises like Tropical Smoothies. I've sold it to, you know, auto parts companies, warehouses, places where people need some sort of, you know, reliable IP phone that is a multi-line IP phone, but is, you know, got really good range on it. I mean, I've sold this to car dealerships, you name it. I've pretty much seen people in just about any sector or industry that have gone with it. It's part of the reason why, like I said, if you frequent my channel, you'll find that I always hail this as like the greatest, at the time of this video, of course, one of the best cordless IP phones that you can get. So, you know, as you guys can imagine, I do a lot of calls, a lot of conferences. While the headset is nice and all, sometimes I want to be able to, you know, go out on the patio or be hanging out next to one of my kids while they're, you know, playing with toys outside or something like that, or in the bedroom or in the living room, and just have that mobility to be able to answer my phone and move around freely. I can also transfer, because everything that you see here is configured and shares my one extension that I use on our service provider. When a call comes in, everything that you see here actually rings. So, you know, everything here rings, and then I have the flexibility of, do I want to be at my desk? Do I want to be, you know, do I want to be at my desk on my Yealink T54W? Do I want to be on speakerphone, you know, here? Do I want to be on my cordless and walk outside and get a breath of fresh air while I take this call? Do I want to be on my headset and be able to walk around the office? There's one more thing that I haven't gone into that I'm going to show you guys that I use in my scenario. And we're going to jump into that now right before we conclude this video. Actually, false alarm, scratch that. So I'm actually using my cell phone to record this video, and I thought, yeah, let me show you guys the Vonage Business mobile app, which is what we use. Not to say that Vonage is the only one that has a mobile app, but I also use a mobile app on my cell phone. But since I'm using my cell phone to record this, well, I guess that means I'm not going to be able to show you guys the mobile app. But I'll tag the video above if you want to see that. But we use the Vonage Business mobile app. For those of you who frequent the channel, you know that we use Vonage Business for our service provider. But I obviously use the Vonage Business mobile app for my preferred app to run to take calls and make calls and run the organization. So there you have it. That's my setup. It's the Leitner LHS270, wireless headset. I use the Yealink T54W desk phone, which I love very much. And I also use the Yealink W60P cordless IP phone, which is basically the stuff of legend in the cordless IP phone arena. And then I use the Vonage Business mobile app on my Android phone. So there you have it. I hope you guys found that helpful, and I hope that answers the popular question, what do I use for my IP phone or IP phones and setup in my office? Again, as I mentioned before, I talk with people every single day of the week, to help them figure out not only what the best phone system service provider is for their business or their home office, but also what hardware might make the most sense for what they use and for what their needs are. And again, people always ask me, well, Prince, what do you use? So I figured it would be worth making a video to show you guys exactly what I use and why. If you're watching this video and you would like some assistance on figuring out what hardware makes the most sense for your business, whether it be a desk phone, a cordless phone, a headset, what mobile app may make the best sense for you, or all of the above, that's what I do all day long. My services are free. Drop me an email or give me a call. I would love to find out more about your business and what it is that you require in a phone or in a mobile app or in a particular accessory. Also, if you're watching this video and you're not even to that phase yet, you're at the point where you still need to figure out what voice over IP service provider or phone system makes sense. I do that all day long. I represent all carriers in the United States, so give me a shout. If you found this video helpful, please like this video. If you found this channel helpful, please support us by subscribing to the channel. Prince Rich, your go-to guy for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. I'll catch you guys again in the next video.